guys, so today I'm here for Top 5 Tuesday, and last week we did characters that I used to hate and now I love, and this week we are doing characters that I used to love and now I hate. And again, I want to clarify, I don't actually hate these people. Like, number one I kind of hate, but I don't actually hate them. It's just like there was a point where I liked them and then they did something and they just became shit in my mind, you know? So these are those characters, and I just thought I would do the opposite of the theme because I'm talking about one side of the topic and now I'm talking about the other side of the topic, and I'm excited, so let's get into it. So number 5 on my list is Mal from Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo. So at first I kind of liked Mal. Like, yes, I was team Darkly even though I knew it wasn't going to happen. I loved him. But I kind of liked the idea of, you know, figuring out that he loves her and they were going to be together and have a really great relationship. But then he really became a shit person in my mind, and he was just whining all the time and he was always yelling at her and he always thought he knew best, and I'm like, dude, you do not get to tell her what to do. You can't tell her what to do with her magic. You can't do that. And he just became very overbearing and very annoying, and I just ended up not liking Mal very much and not really liking their relationship. And this is a reason why I didn't actually really like this series in the end. Like, the first book was okay, like everyone talked it up so much and I'm just like, am I missing something here? But then as I kept going I was just like, whoa, no. So reading Sister Crows, I was so glad I liked that book, but just I do not like Mal. Number 4 is going to be a lesser known book, but it's Mystic City by Theo Lawrence. A character that I don't really like anymore is the main love interest, Hunter. In the first book I was so here for it. I loved this relationship, and even though it was amnesia, I was just I was here for it. And I just can't even tell you how much I love this book. And this was before I started reading all the books that I have read now. So this is one of those like ones that I was like, oh my god. And I loved it so much. But then in the second book, he becomes all about his rebellion and all about fighting, and he forgets about his girl, and then, you know, she sort of finds love with someone else, and it's just like, yeah, because you never paid attention to her, and then you be a big sookie bum. So the fact that most books, guys still find time for their love interest, you know, you still find time for them. You don't just give up on them and never speak to them again like you just got them back. But no, you're all about this other shit, and I was just not okay. And we haven't even got a third book to know what actually happens, because like, who's she gonna pick? Because it turned into a love triangle, and I didn't think it was gonna go that way. I thought it was solid, and now I'm like with her because I'm like, oh, you know, Hunter's not that great, like you should be with the other guy. But like, it's just, we're never gonna know, and it's very upsetting to me. So number 3 is from Red Queen by Victoria Aveyard. I was gonna say, can you guess? But you probably think I would say Mare, but it's actually Cal that I don't like anymore. Loved him in the first book. Like, I just love this forbidden romance. When you gotta marry someone, but you end up falling in love with someone else. Like, I live for it. Like, I mean, it's fun when they fall in love with the person they're meant to marry, but I'm so here for it. But at every turn, Cal always messes up. Like, he always goes the wrong way, he always does the wrong thing, and he always stuffs it up, and he's all about the crown. Like, seriously, it's in Warstorm that you see it the most, but he is all about being in charge. So at first I loved him, and then like, by the fact that he betrayed her, I was like, nah, I don't like you anymore. That's why I also never saw Mare and Cal being in a relationship, because he just stuffed it, because you need trust. Like, there's some things that can be forgiven, but like, he just kept doing bad thing after bad thing, and we're meant to swoon because he's such a great guy, but I'm like, no, you're not. So by the end of the book, I really wasn't a fan of him, and everyone's like, oh, the ending's so bad, it's so bittersweet. I'm like, that's what he gets. That's what he gets. The number 1 and 2 are from books I mentioned last week, so you can probably tell what they are because they were number 1 and 2 as well, but I'm talking about the characters that I now do not like. So number 2 is Adam from Shadowbee by Stira Mafe, because I didn't know how much of a shit bitch this guy was. I thought it was so great having this relationship where it's like, you know, they knew each other when they were younger and they like went to school, and he goes in there to talk to her, and even though he's one of Warner's like army dudes, he wants to help her, and then, you know, they're together, and then you find out that he was just so boring and so bland and flat. And honestly, Adam would have been the safe relationship, but Warner is just the all-empowering, passionate relationship that she needs. But I don't know, like, I mean, I do like the relationship that he has with his little brother James, I think it is, but honestly, he's just such a soppy mess. And like, when she broke up with him, he's just like, bitch, you can't break up with me. And it's like, she can actually, she's allowed to do what she wants. It's a free country here, mate. But honestly, like, Adam just irritates me, and I'm so not looking forward to rereading it for him. But I want to reread it for Warner, you know. So it's a catch-22, really. Of course, number 1 is Tamlin from A Cult of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas, because, mate, I can't deal. So you read it the first time and you're obsessed with this beastie character who is the Beast from Beauty and the Beast, and he's so strong and powerful. And then you figure out that Rhys is amazing. So if you've reread it and you look back and see that he actually was controlling and toxic and just horrible to Feyre, and he just... like, I can't even, like, I mean, just for the fact that he thought that he was so entitled to so many things, and it's just like, just because you're a man, like, I mean, Rhys gets through this. Like, he's kind of past this kind of, like, you know, territorial Fae, like, he still is a Fae male, but he tries to control it and contain himself so that he's not as bad as some people, but some of these males, my god. Like, we need to take a step back from the Fae stories because this is all that's happening at the moment. Like, we need something new. We do need something new. Maybe we should do Ghost. Ghost would be really fun. He is just so horrible, and he wouldn't let Feyre break up with him, and he just made it sound like it's like, you gotta stay with me forever. Like, he's the super crazy girlfriend, but he's a man. The fact that he practically sacrifices his whole kingdom for Feyre so that she will come back even though she doesn't want him, it's just like, that's the thing too. It's like, yeah, it hurts, but if you know that the person that you love doesn't want to be with you, you just give up. You don't just keep trying because that's just then forcing them to be with you, and like, what the fuck? These are books with characters that I don't like in them, and like, I love the first two and I love Mystic City, but the other two aren't really my favorites, and like, that's the thing, books can become not your favorites because there's characters in them that you just don't like anymore or don't like in general. But this was a fun topic to talk about, and I feel like this Top 5 Tuesday has been filming forever. I mean, they're always so quick because I'm just pretty much like, ooh, book, I like this. But anyway guys, thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!